What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And no, you're not going crazy. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. I have purchased the Huawei Mate X5. Eagle-eyed among you will know that I've had this device for a very short period of time previously. It was on loan to me, but I took the plunge and I've bought one for myself. Today I am going to dig deep into the specifications of the phone and why I think we are being robbed in the Western market. Let's go. Now, before we dive deep into the specs of the Huawei Mate X5, it's important to note the whole reason it's been possible for me to buy this quick, cheap and easy is thanks to Wanda Mobile. Wanda Mobile I have been using for years. I have imported roughly 50 devices from them over the past 3 years, and every single one has arrived in mint condition, sometimes with the Google Play Store installed by Wanda Mobile, if at all possible. Now, ordering from Wanda couldn't be easier. The link is in description. If you pay by bank transfer, you will get 3.8% off. Shipping is super fast across the world. DHL Express Delivery is how I get my packages. For example, the Huawei X5 I ordered on Friday evening. It arrived today, which by the way is Tuesday morning. So it's like one working day in between if we don't count the weekend. Just insane shipping speeds, and that's not a one-off, that's just the regular thing. Now, the Huawei X5 can be found in many different variants on the website. If you want to go all out, you can get the 1TB collector's edition, and that's roughly £2,300. But remember, with close to 4% off bank transfer, that makes a difference. So Wanda Mobile, link in description. Now, another thing I should mention, as you all know, keen-eyed viewers and loyal subscribers will know that I have been rocking the Honor Magic V2 as my daily for the past couple of weeks. I will be doing a comparison video between these two devices. That'll come out probably tomorrow actually, so keep your eyes peeled. But today is all about the Huawei X5, a deep dive into the full specifications, and I'm going to appease some commenters. I have had some feedback, we'll say, that you don't want to see me, you just want to see the phone. So, as much as possible from now on, I'm going to show you the whole exterior of the phone, the software, let you listen to the speaker, see how movies and YouTube looks on it, and all of that while talking about the full specifications of the Huawei. I will be talking about my frustration when it comes to not Huawei themselves, but the relationship Huawei has with America that is absolutely impacting on us, the consumers. Now let's deep dive into the phone. Now the X5 obviously has two screens, the outer being a 120Hz 6.4 inch OLED 120Hz. Now this screen is essentially like a candy bar phone in your hand. So using the outer display all day every day is not going to be an inconvenience. It's not narrow like the Z Fold 5. Now when you do decide to unfold the device, you have a 7.85 inch, again 120Hz inner display. Now there's a billion colours, it's OLED technology with LTPO. I should also mention that as far as build quality, the outer display is Kunlun glass, inside's ultra thin glass with obviously a little plastic covering. But the whole phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, something that not many, if any, foldable phones can actually claim these days. So you can get this up to 1.5 meters in a swimming pool for around about 30 minutes. Now internally, it's the Kirin 9000S chip on a 7nm processor. Don't let that take away though, the Kirin 9000S is more than capable for any gaming, video editing, photography, anything you want to do. It's a Harmony OS 4.0 skin, and I can tell you that using Harmony has been an absolute dream. And it's because of the Harmony combined with the Kirin 9000S chip that we can get Google Apps natively. Don't let GSM Arena or anybody else tell you different. As you can see on my phone, I have Google Apps native. Now, as far as RAM and storage, multiple choices to choose from. You can have either 12 gigabytes of RAM or 16. You can have 256 gigabytes of storage, all the way up to 1 terabyte. The particular model I have is 12 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, and that comes in at roughly £2,000 on Wanda Mobile. So connectivity wise, you've got Bluetooth 5.2. Other connectivity, obviously you've got Wi-Fi, NFC, an infrared port. One thing you will not have though is 5G connectivity. Yes, a big elephant in the room that no workarounds can fix. There's no 5G. However, Ben's Gadget Reviews did let us know that 4G speeds with the Kirin 9000S chip, I don't know how they've done this tomfoolery, but the 4G speeds are very similar to 5G speeds. I couldn't possibly tell you if they are or not. I've only got 5G in my area. Now, for any Huawei device, the pièce de résistance has to be the cameras. Internally, externally, front screen, everything's just, it's 4K all over. 4K at 30 or 60, video recording. It's got OIS, EIS, so all the electrical stabilization, the optical stabilization. The selfie cameras, again, 4K at 30 frames per second. The inside selfie camera, 4K at 30 frames per second. And let me tell you, the 4K and all the megapixels, so just to run through, the wide is a 50 megapixel. There's a 12 megapixel periscope that does 5 times optical zoom. There's a 13 megapixel ultra wide as well. Megapixels don't really mean anything, folks. There are some budget phones that have a 200 megapixel camera, which, while good to see, doesn't mean that that camera is 4 times as good as the 50 megapixels of the Huawei. As I stand here today, and as I tell you every time I review a Huawei device, Huawei have the best cameras on any smartphones. So trust me when I say the cameras on the Huawei X5 are the best foldable cameras in the world. Now, to power all of this, you need a good battery. Those screens don't charge themselves. So, inside we have the very same technology that Honor use. Funny that link between Honor and Huawei. The silicon carbon 5060 milliamp hour batteries are going to last you 2 days of moderate to even some heavy usage. I have tested this. This is my second X5 and I have been blown away with the battery life. Now, when your battery does get close to zero, there's a 66 watt charger included in the box, 50 watts wireless on the proprietary charger, and 7.5 watts reverse wireless charging. So if your friend's in a pinch, you can use your phone to charge theirs just as quick as some other companies have wireless charging. The battery on this is second to none. Again, I don't believe there is a phone out there, a foldable phone out there, that has a bigger battery capacity. So yes, while I've been showing you that phone and talking you through the incredible specs, again, to recap, the biggest battery in a foldable device, the best cameras on a foldable device, IPX68 water and dust resistant, found on next to no other foldable devices. The Huawei Mate X5 has the best hardware, and I talked about the ecosystem of Huawei as well. I would argue that software-wise, if it was supported in the Western market, it would be up there with iOS. But it's not supported. The only way I can get Google is through a hack workaround. Now, luckily for me, when I've done this hack, I have full Google. Maps, messages, notifications, Gmail, everything just works. The only thing you don't have is Google Pay, but Huawei have their own NFC payment system, so you can add your card to that. And you won't get Android Auto. But again, Huawei have their own Android Auto version. I'm telling you folks, the more people that bought Huawei, the more you'd be blown away by the software. And we all know the reason why they can't. China and America have been at loggerheads for a long, long time. Hopefully it only sticks with smartphones and it doesn't escalate to anything else. And because of this, Huawei can't have 5G, but 4G speeds are pretty damn good. And getting Google is, fairly difficult unless you know how. So what that means to us is we have to import these devices from companies such as Wanda Mobile. And I can't sit here and tell you to go out and buy a Huawei device. I am not naive enough to think that 99% of you can't be bothered with the hassle of doing it. What I can tell you though is, if you did take the plunge to buy a Huawei device, you would absolutely not regret it. Holding this phone in your hand, feeling how premium every single material is, from the aluminium sides, the Kunlun glass in the front, everything just feels premium. And then when you start to take videos and photos, you get what you pay for when it comes to Huawei. I just wish it was more available. Hopefully you've enjoyed this deep dive and you've enjoyed not seeing my face all the time, for all those people commenting saying we don't want to see me. Thanks for hurting my feelings. And until next time, when I will compare the Huawei X5 with the Honor Magic V2, take care.